Thanks for joining me for today's scale study. Today, concert F major. So let's jump right in and talk about what we're going to need for concert F major. On the alto saxophone, the alto saxophone uses the D scale for concert F major. That's because it's a transposing instrument. More on that later. So the key of D requires us to use an F sharp and a C sharp. So all of today's studies will require the F sharp and C sharp. Let's jump in with number 1, major scale and arpeggio, quarter notes. My metronome is set at 70 beats per minute. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Now we'll move on to the major scale and arpeggio in the 8th note rhythm pattern. Again, remember your F sharps and C sharps. 1, 2, and ready, and go. Our major chord study requires F sharps and C sharps as well. Why don't you play the top notes as I play the bottom? 1, 2, ready. Now we'll move on to the pattern of thirds. We're going to need our F sharps again. 1 and 2 and ready, thirds, go. Jumping down to our chromatic pivot scale, our pivot note today is the note A. We'll also need a G sharp. Make sure that your G sharp key isn't sticky. And we'll need F sharp and F natural. 3 notes from the end, we're going to need a low D sharp. So remember, that's our pinky key on our right hand. Let's do it. 1, 2, ready. Next, we'll do our chromatic scale. Our first note is low D, followed by that D sharp fingering, and then on up the scale. The flats might be confusing because D flat is often confused, and it's just a C sharp. Also coming down the scale, A flat often gets confused. A flat is our G sharp fingering. It's an enharmonic equivalent. And then 5 notes from the end, the second to last measure is a G flat. Remember, that's an F sharp. Let's do it. 1, 2, chromatic scale. And finally, our chorale. I'll play the bottom notes of the chorale. Why don't you play the top? You'll need a C sharp at the end of the first measure, and at the end of the second measure, you'll need an A sharp. Remember, that's a B flat. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. And there you have it, Concert F Major. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you've enjoyed playing along. Consider playing through this exercise again on your own, or these exercises again on your own, and some of the other advanced scale studies. Then move on to a technical book study. So I hope to see you again soon. Keep practicing.